seemed like a lot better idea before this place was so full of people. So you're probably wondering, you know, why I'm here today. And the answer to that is I actually don't know the answer. I don't know why I'm here. I was just called to be here. You know, I'm always listening for songs that I can share here at church and songs that I can sing and bring to you guys. And I was in my car driving down the interstate, and I was listening to The Message on Sirius XM. And there was a particular song that came on that in that moment stopped me in my tracks. A lot of times when I have music playing, it's constant for me. Cleaning house, in the shower, in the car, whatever I'm doing, I have music playing. And a lot of times I hear the music without actually listening to it. It's just kind of a background noise to me. It's very soothing, and it always has been. But there was something about that moment for me that God just pulled at my heart. And it was the song You Say by Lauren Daigle. And as I listened to the words, I'm thinking, man, this is a really good song for me. It was like God was speaking to me through that song. And it couldn't have been any more fitting for me in my present moment in my life. And so I thought, oh man, this would be a really good song for me to sing at church. I've been hunting for one for a little while, and everybody keeps asking me when I'm going to come back and sing, and this would be a great one. And then all of a sudden I felt God tap me on the shoulder. And he said, but wait, Ashton, because this song is everything that you need right now, maybe, just maybe, you could get up and you could speak with the song. What? What do you mean? What do you mean, God? Why would I do that? Oh, you know, I felt him say to me, if there's ever a reason that Pastor Michael needs to be gone for anything, just think about it. And it wasn't even 2 weeks later, and I get a text from Pastor Michael. Hey, Ashton, I'm having my wisdom teeth removed, and I don't know that I'll be able to carry out the service. Would you be interested in singing a song? Okay, God, I see you. You know, hit me like a ton of bricks. This is what I need to do, and I don't know why, but I need to share it. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've never, ever talked about publicly. My friends, my family, my loved ones, excuse me, they all know this about me. But no one in the public eye knows this about me. And that's because this isn't something that I share unless I'm called to do so. I never wanted to tell this part of me because I didn't want people to look at me differently. I wanted people to see me as Ashton. I've always been this bubbly, lively, outgoing person. And I didn't want to taint that sort of image that people perceive from me. I didn't want people to look at me differently. I didn't want people to think any negative thoughts about me. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with depression. I started showing symptoms probably about 15. I was sleeping a lot. I was really weepy. I had a lot of loss of interest, a lot of loss of life, and I was very irritable. And after a little bit of that behavior, my parents even started to notice. And so my mom, with her background that she's always had in her career of counseling services, just suggested to me, you know, maybe, Ashton, maybe you should think about going to counseling. Just think about it. Well, why would I need to go to counseling? There's nothing wrong with me. But I gave it a shot reluctantly. And I went for 6 weeks. And it helped tremendously. But after 6 weeks, the counselor went to Mom and she said, I feel like Ashton is improving through these services of mine, but I feel like we're looking at something a little bit bigger than her. I feel like Ashton could benefit maybe from some medication. When Mom told me that, you want to talk about denial. If I was in denial before, the thought of crazy pills, that really brings you into denial. Especially when I'm this person that's so full of life and so happy and so outgoing. But that's the thing, depression doesn't care. Your mental health doesn't care. You hear things like cancer, any health problems, chronic diseases, they don't care. And depression is no different than that. And that brings me to my next point. I remember one time when I was a little girl, my mom and I got in a big fight. We were the only ones home. We were living in the old house still. I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't remember what it was in the situation that caused the fight. But what I do very, very vividly remember is running into my room, slamming the door, and screaming, "I hate you!" As tears of anger and frustration flew down my face, I sat there shaking in anger. And I heard Mom's footsteps come outside the door. And I hear her on the other side of the door. And she says, "But I love you anyway." And in that moment, it was so monumental of a lesson for me that I still carry that with me to this day. Here I was spouting off hateful things that I didn't mean out of anger. And here my mom was. She loved me anyway. Unconditional love. And that's what God does for us. I'll tell you one thing about depression. It affects everybody that suffers from it differently, but particularly with me, it's a lot of self-critical, negative talk. Telling yourself that you're not good enough, telling yourself that you're a failure, telling yourself that you will never measure up. But God comes and he says, "Yes, you will. You will." And there's been a lot of times when my struggles with it all that I've been angry at God. I think we can all agree it's a lot easier to love God when you're living high on the hog. Am I right? It's a lot harder to love him when you're going through something, when you're down, when you're out. It's a lot easier to question God. But just like my mom did that day, when I'm angry and frustrated and at the lowest points of my depression where I can no longer carry on, I can't live out the faith that I need to live out, God is there and he says, "I love you anyway." A lot of times I wanted to say, "Why me?" And finally one day, I realized that God put me on this path because he knew that I was strong enough to handle it. And that through him, I could conquer anything. And that's why this song that I'm going to sing for you today, it's called "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. Just really listen to the words and you'll completely understand why this song resonated with me the way that it did. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Like I said, I don't know why I'm here, but God told me to be, so here I am. Please, I'm begging you, don't look at me any differently, because that's the biggest fear that I have in all of this. We all have struggles, but that doesn't make us less of who we are. Thank you.
Ashton, thank you very much. They're going to wish that I had more wisdom teeth taken out next week. Because that was wonderful. You provided us a powerful witness, and we thank you again. So let's give her one more round of applause. It took a lot of courage, and I just really much appreciate it. Our closing hymn today, we're going to sing verses